Afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Novak, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today we're doing part 3 of the willow. There's a willow branch that I took cuttings of. I got 2 more in the yard. And this branch is about a ½ inch in diameter, if you can see it on the calipers. Now this branch took me about a month to really start new growth on it, and this is growth after 2.5 months. Look how nice this tree is. And if you look on the bottom, you can see a great root system. But right now, with a little bit of dieback on the top, I'm going to cut it off. If I can get in there right above a little bit above the brain. That's cut. And we'll take some Type Bond glue, wood glue that I have, and then all I'll do is dip the top of the cutting so no rain gets inside and rots any more of the trunk, and this will dry naturally. That's all you have to do. Now, after doing that, there's another willow that I put in a root maker's pot. I have to use a little bit of energy to get it out. You have to use chopsticks on a root maker's pot to get your cuttings out, but it works just as good. Now look at the root system from the root maker's pot on this willow. Beautiful root system. Now what we're going to do is take and spread the roots out. I don't want to do too much because it's not the proper time for rooting, but take a little chopstick and move some of the soil out of the way. And because we're doing work on it, take my scissors and cut this back a little bit. And take it right here and cut it back just above the brain, the node. Okay. And this is a little bit tall, so I got a different pair of scissors. We can cut some of the root off because it will grow. Now I'm not going to force any more of the roots out because I want this thing to overwinter nicely. And one good thing about the winter time, or well, fall actually, is that even though the tops go slow, if you keep the soil warm, it'll root. The roots will keep on growing. That's what they usually do when you see people potting trees outside. The soil's warm, it's cold out on the top, prevents the top growth, and the roots will grow fine, real nice. So I got my screen in. I'm going to put some soil inside. Take some water, let it down a little bit for the roots. Get the roots, get them nice and moist. And put it in here. I'm growing it as a double trunk. And willows are very easy to root. The best thing to do make sure you have a nice little turntable for yourself. Turntables are cheap. You can get them at a garage sale. This is a marble one I found. They were getting rid of it for $5, so I grabbed it. Nothing wrong with it that I can see of. Use your fingers to tap it in. Get a little bit more soil. just work your soil around. Use your fingers to push it in. Get your chopstick to work it into the roots, whatever were exposed. And if you keep this willow in nice wet condition, it'll grow. It will not die on you. As long as you keep it in a container and keep it in water about that much, you'll be good. Give it a nice soaking. First I get, because the soil is dry, I use my mister to let it absorb water. My homemade watering can for my soap dish, my soap container for dishes. Push it in. Wipe off your container. Add a little more soil into it. And try not to say the word dirt. That's a dirty word. Dirt is a dead soil with no microbes, nothing in it to keep it growing. I add a little bit of beneficial bacteria to my soil, and I try to grow all these organically. And my water, you can leave out for 24 to 48 hours, and we'll get all the chlorine out, because too much chlorine will kill the beneficial bacteria. Put it down real nice. You can see how it looks. Not too bad. And this is a cheap, easy way to do a bonsai plant. Now I went to the aquarium shop that was going out of business, so I got a nice load of rocks. So let's see if we can put a nice little rock in here for an accent. Or you can, when you take a walk, look for some rocks. So there's a lot of nice rocks you can pick up and use for your container. Now all you gotta do, if I can find my cactus soil, and my little cup, you can dress it up. Cover up the perlite that's showing, a little bit behind the rock. A little bit more. All you need is one rock for a good showing. Pat it down real good. Anyone can have a bonsai tree, and by taking a cutting of a big branch, you got instant trunk. I mean, look at the size of this trunk. Okay, so I'm going to wet it down, and they'll root for you. As long as you do it around June, July, they'll come out real nice. Even some of the smaller branch cuttings, you can take these and root them, or you can chop it up real good, put it in some water, make your own rooting hormone. Once the winter is over with, you can put some statues in here, whatever you want to decorate your little bonsai. Now, if you can't keep it outside, a nice cold windowsill, so it stays dormant, will do just fine. And you can still leave it in water, about that much, because this thing loves water, and it's not going to hurt it. So that's about it. Next that should do it good. Now remember, look for your rocks. Look for whatever you can find. And you can see how nice the cactus soil on top of the other soil will give you a nice little ground cover. Later on, you can get some moss and put it around the plant and have nice little greenery around there. Or you can even put a little statue there, whatever you want. But it's an easy way to plant a willow, and they're very hardy. And if you can't afford it, this is an easy bonsai tree to make. Like I says, this is just a branch cutting that I rooted. Stuck it in my little pot, filled it up real good. Or you can take some regular potting soil and make another one with a nice thick heavy branch. But if you get the branches from somebody and the tree is still living, ask your neighbor for a cutting. But other than that, cheap, easy. This branch was nothing. The soil is what I paid for. These I found at some of the old big box stores that they were getting rid of. They get rid of them for free. So it's not hard. Even though you're on a tight income, it's not hard. So thank you for coming to this part 3 of doing a willow bonsai. Today's Friday, and Friday night is dance night and big band night. So grab yourself a hot cup of tea, put on a little Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra from 1937. I believe there's one on YouTube. Sit back and enjoy the music. And if you're married, have a little dance with your wife in the living room and enjoy the night. Thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name's Tom Novak. See you in the next video.